For the majority of Age of War, the action takes place at Alon Rhist. The cover of the book even dedicated to showing the city. And as such, understanding the anatomy of this Frey outpost can bring a new understanding and appreciation for the book. So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. Located along the Burn River, this Frey outpost is named after Alon Rhist, who was the fourth Thane of the Frey. When Thane Gika was killed at the beginning of the Derg War, Alon Rhist took over command, and for 5 dark years he had fought a losing war against the Derg. After his death, Rhist became the only Thane to be buried west of the Nidwalden River. The fortress that bore his name was also his tombstone. So let's take a closer look at his city. We start out at a distance, atop Misery Rock. This was where Persephone and Wraith watched as Nephron took control of the city, as well as where Mwandale channeled Jared's power to kill Arian. Climbing down the ledge takes us to the Granford Bridge. Passing high above the canyon created by the Burn River, this bridge was fated to be destroyed by Suri in order to stop the advancing Frey once they had used the art to destroy the Rhist's walls. The Frey would later bridge this canyon with 7 magic stone bridges. As we reach the city, we go through the great bronze gates and arrive in the lower courtyard. This is the space where the army musters before the Battle of Granford, and includes Speech Rock, where Nephron speaks to the ruined soldiers before the first battle. From here, we can also see the 2 forward towers that guard the front gate of the Rhist. The southern tower is known as the Downriver Tower for obvious reasons, while the northern tower is known as the Frozen Tower, as it takes the brunt of the cold northern winds and has no fireplace. Climbing up, we enter into the densely populated city with its narrow winding roads. This is where many of the runes live in houses abandoned by Frey who chose to leave after Nephron took control. We then reach another set of bronze gates, which lead to the fortress proper. The first of which is the upper courtyard. Here we have Roan's smithy, where a Galarbrin would be born. The tannery, the kitchens, the barracks, and livestock pens, as well as the training fields where runes, including Tesh, learn to fight from the Instaria and Galantians. Above the courtyard and up a narrow staircase, we reach the Varenthenon. This huge domed building acts as the meeting room for the leadership of the city and its residents. The speaker, standing in the middle of the room, can use their voice and the dome to fill the entire space. It was here that Persephone would give her first address to the city. Mwandale and Lothian would destroy the Varenthenon with the art during the battle. Deep below the Varenthenon lies the Derjong. The Frey use it to house prisoners such as Petrigar and Vertimus, as well as exotic animals that are studied to determine how best to fight them. This included the goblin Oberdaza Striker, who was held before joining the Galantians on their mission. It is also where the Ra was held before Meryl made a deal and released it. Other animals have included Wheelos, Bancors, bears, and even an Araface. Back up and around the Varenthenon, we reach the Corbel Bridge that leads to the Kype. The bridge, along with the only windows being narrow slits on the upper floors, makes the Kype the most secure building in the city. It is where Nephron, Persephone, Suri, and Arian live, and subsequently where the Ra attacks. On the ground floor, we have the large main hall. There is also another room called the Carol. This is a small room where the leader, Persephone at the time, would hear grievances of the citizens. It has 2 separate doors, one for petitioners and one for the judge to enter. And finally, out the other side of the Kype, The Courtyard Bridge continues to the sky-piercing watchtower known as the Spyrock. It was at the top of this insanely tall building that the signal fire was lit in order to pass the message to the Gula and Ruluruns that the fray were coming. The top was blown off by the Spider Corps shortly after, prompting Gifford's race to get help. And this is where our tour ends. I hope you enjoyed today's video. One thing I drew inspiration from in making this video was a video that Sullivan himself created. Sullivan has actually built a Minecraft version of Alon Rhist, and so I will put a link in the description if you want to check out that video. Anyway, remember to comment and subscribe to see more videos about Riyria and the world of Alon. Thanks!